The wait is finally over, guys. After 10 long years, we finally get the ending of Bleach. The 1,000-year blood arc is something I've been waiting for, and since it was teased a couple years ago, I've been kind of on edge, waiting to watch all of these amazing scenes animated. Now, I read the manga as it was coming out, so it's been about 9-ish years since I've actually read Bleach. And while I have problems with the manga, we're just going to talk about the first 10 episodes that were just animated. So don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything that happens. And to be honest, after the first 10 episodes I realized I don't really remember that much of Bleach anyway. These first 10 episodes were the most memorable moments of the manga in my opinion. But just because I've been waiting for it for so long, doesn't mean this show is perfect. And to be honest, watching this show animated, it kind of made me realize some problems I didn't realize I actually had with this arc. You see, Bleach and Kubo do an amazing job of drawing out fights from the manga and make them last a bit longer in the anime, and they even add some extra fight scenes in there. And sometimes it works really well when they're not filler related. Like the Hisagi versus the Espada fight. This is a cool fight, but quite a bit of this wasn't in the manga, especially the way the fight ended. I thought that was a really good change. But you see, the 1,000-year blood war, for better or for worse, follows the manga kinda to a T. Now it has some new flashbacks about some of the previous captains that we didn't really get much about in the manga, which is cool, but for the actual fight happening in front of us, it's pretty frame by frame. So let's just jump into this. Let's talk about the stuff I liked first, because there's definitely a lot of stuff I did not like. First, Bleach is in HD widescreen. I know that's not a big one, but it's so good to watch it. It's really hard to find good quality episodes of Bleach. But Bleach with good quality widescreen, with great animation, vibrant colors, it's so good. I like the slight artistic design change of it. And even with this like white light shading on everyone's hair, I thought it'd be more distracting than it was as I went on with the show, but I kind of noticed it less and less. So I just think it's a really nice artistic touch. And the audio is outstanding. The sound design is outstanding. And what I really liked is the music. Bleach to me, and I've said this before, might have the best soundtrack collectively in anime. And the remixes were a really good choice. You see, when Naruto became Shippuden, it lost and refused to use any of its old music for 99% of all of Shippuden. And I thought it was a huge loss. While I liked the new songs in Naruto Shippuden, I didn't think a lot of them were as good as the original. What Bleach did is it kept some of the songs like number 1 and then just remixed all the other good ones. So it still gives you a nice new feel, but also hits that nostalgia bone. I think it was a very smart choice. But by far the best part about this arc is the premise and the direction of Bleach. You see, Bleach tends to get a bit convoluted. It's never been Naruto convoluted in my opinion, but it gets a bit convoluted. But this one, it's really straightforward and does a lot. The Quinties are pissed and they want revenge, and they've been planning it for 1,000 years. That is an amazingly simple and effective plot that borderlines genius, honestly. Because at that point we're wondering what's gonna happen to Ichigo, what's gonna happen with Iryu, and Ryukin and Ishin. There's so many connecting threads to this one idea. And it gives us a chance to get more character development for people that really have been lacking in the Bleach series. 3, 2. Oh, okay, never mind. So when this is the very first thing you see from the Shinigami really dying when the war starts, you realize, oh crap, a lieutenant just got one shot. We might be fucked. And speaking of the shot, it's a really good time to mention that Bleach is actually being more manga accurate with the actual blood and violence in this arc. And that is something I've been waiting for. Something I was really hoping they would do. One of the annoying things about the original Bleach was, no matter how well it was animated, it did crap like this, where Ishido is supposed to get his arm ripped off by Illuthiora and it's just bruised, as my friend said. Or when Hiyori was supposed to get cut in half by Gin, she was just stabbed. It really throws away a lot of the impact when you see things like that. These are wars they're in. But nevertheless, the moment that Kira gets hit, you realize that the situation is dire. And well, to be honest, besides the Gun Yurusai fight, there's not much else positive I'm gonna say in this video. So let's buckle up. So remember when I just said that Bleach tends to follow the manga panels in this arc to a T for better or for worse? Well, here comes the worst. The fights in this arc are ridiculously fast, like almost insultingly fast. But let's talk about why Kubo is making them so fast, and which is really the crux of the Quincy's plans here. So the Quincy's have this device that can steal a Shinigami's Bankai, and I'm not gonna get into more about the device because the show isn't gotten to more about the device at this point. But in the show, it says that they still have their Shikai, because the Fear says it to Byakuya. And the Fear almost kind of tells them, you can't beat me with just your Shikai while I have your Bankai. The captains think that the Bankais were sealed. They don't realize that the Bankais were actually stolen. So what are the captains' plan? Because they know at the very least the Bankais will be sealed if they use it in battle. Well, let's just use it.
You stupid.
That is their plan. Their plan is to actually just use their Bankai anyway and have their lieutenants try to see how it gets sealed. This is on them. Soifan used her Bankai immediately. You're gonna tell me that Soifan, who absolutely despises her Bankai, is going to use that within 30 seconds of battle? It took like 10 episodes in the last Bleach arc for Soifan to pull that out. Then, to make it worse, she's going to trust her lieutenant to pay attention. Her lieutenant that ran away like 3 times in the last arc. That's who she trusts. I don't buy it. That's already annoying. Mayuri, their main expert in all things Zanpakuto, told them not to do it. And the moment he realizes it happens, he calls them all idiots. Rightfully so. And just a thought, wouldn't it make more sense for Byakuya's fight if Renji uses Bankai and his got stolen instead of Byakuya? Wouldn't it make more sense for Byakuya to watch how the seal worked instead of Renji? Byakuya, the legendary member of the Kuchiki clan, instead of Renji Aborai? I don't understand why that is the case. We already know that Byakuya can probably beat Renji's Bankai without using his own Bankai. And from there, let's talk about my biggest problem with this arc, or at least this first 10 episodes, because it's a tangent of the Bankai and kind of the way the panels are done from the manga to the anime. These fights are over way too quick, and this show assumes that every Bankai is created equally, and that is not the case, and we've seen evidence of that. Ichigo's Bankai is something that he needs to use to fight other captain level opponents. Yes, it increases his power a bit, not as much, but a bit, because his Shikai is still really powerful, but it really gives him speed and it makes his combat ability easier to use in a lot of different fights. So Ichigo uses his for fighting style and speed buffs. Hitsugaya uses his for new techniques and defense. So if their Bankais are stolen, I could see why they would probably just get wiped out. Soifan, absolutely not. Soifan hates her Bankai. And honestly, if you told me she hadn't used it in like 50 years, I'd believe you. Soifan's skills are really embedded in her combat skills, her stealth, her swiftness, all of that. And she knows Shunko. Like, why isn't she using more stuff? Granted, we didn't really see Soifan's fight, so I'll let Soifan slide. So let's move on to Byakuya. Byakuya knows Shunpo, as everyone does, but Byakuya was cocky enough in the original series to think that his Shunpo flash step was just as good as Yoriichi's. If he thought that, why did we not see him try to dodge or evade or anything once? If you're confident enough to go up against Yoriichi, you're probably good at it. He made a level 30 spell Shokatsui look like Final Flash. Byakuya, in his fight, did not use Flash Step, did not use Kido, didn't do anything. Once his Bankai was there, he literally stood there and took it. He didn't try Shikai because the guy said, You could try to use Shikai, but he didn't think he'd win. This is not the same Byakuya that I saw fight Ichigo, that's all I'm saying. And in fact, when Byakuya fought Ichigo, Ichigo fought back Bankai with his own Shikai. Granted, didn't go well, but he tried. And I can already hear people typing in the comments that, well, the Shikai didn't work and their attacks are being blocked by the blue veins. And guys, it's just Ryatsu. Aizen said it best when Soifan tried to kill him with her 2 stings. And he said every fight just a battle Ryatsu. This isn't going to work on me. When Ichigo fought Kenpachi, remember, he hurt himself trying to hit Kenpachi. But eventually he focused his Ryatsu and was able to wound Kenpachi. The veins are a more advanced version of tough skin, more or less. And also, the Shikai did kind of work. Kind of did. The problem is, besides Kyoraku, Kenpachi, and Genryusai, it doesn't feel like any of the captains tried to win these fights. I didn't see any life in these battles. It just showed a really cool concept. Their Bankai getting stolen and them getting steamrolled, and I don't understand. And Genryusai isn't innocent to any of this either. He did the same thing that the other captains did. He uses Bankai immediately. He didn't know that you needed a certain amount of Ryatsu to not have it stolen. They just happened to give us a really cool fight before it got stolen. He deserved it. As much of an asshole as that is to say, he did deserve it. And I get that's what they're shadowing in that whole fight. And the same thing where Hime didn't heal him because Genryusai refused to accept the healing from a human. So his is more poetic, but not any less stupid. And then the funniest thing happens. Renji, seeing everything that was going on, decides to also try and use Bankai twice. I don't think these guys are very smart. Byakuya is supposed to be smart. Like, he is smart. You are smart, right? And back when I think the show is actually going to kind of have some balls, after Byakuya is in a crater of his own blood, they say, oh, the hot springs aren't going to work. And then the biggest Ek Machina literally comes from the sky and says, oh, I have a better hot springs. Byakuya and Renji will be fine. Granted, I knew this is one of the things I did remember, but this is exactly how I felt 10 years ago. And I remember hating it just as much animated as I did reading it in the manga. Listen guys, I don't want Kubo to be the Nomura of anime. And for you that don't know, Nomura is the guy that did all the Kingdom Hearts games where things just kept getting more and more convoluted and more Ex Machinas kept happening and more people that were supposed to be dead just keep coming back to life because they're really popular characters and God forbid we kill a character that rates high in polls. But the fact that Renji and Byakuya are going to be just fine is not a step in the direction I want to see for this show. We are in a war and a lot of nameless people died. But one of the biggest problems that the Arrancar arc had is that no one died. 10 Captain Class Espadas went up against 10 Captain Class Shinigamis, and all 10 Shinigamis walked away fine at the end of the day. I don't want that for this arc. Yeah, we lost Genryusai, and that sucks, and that's cool. But I need other stakes. When I feel like everyone's safe, the show just becomes fairy tale, and I don't want another fairy tale. Now, I'll probably be doing another review like this when more episodes of Bleach come out. I don't want to do it by episode because sometimes nothing really happens and that's kind of boring to me. So probably another 8 to 10 episodes, I'll do another review. But I actually do want to hear from you guys. How do you guys think this arc is going so far? Do you think my points regarding this arc are valid? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell notification for more anime and anime content. Thanks guys. So, funny enough, this was a review that somehow turned into an actual rant.